Big Beautiful bill is got a provision to sell off the 9,000 post office Oshkosh Defense vehicles. The Postal Service is a perfect use case. They're not driving 100 miles a day.
They have a fixed route. They park in the same location every night.
On the right, think that EVs are woke agenda. Okay. And that's not the case. These Oshkosh Defense vehicles win on total cost of ownership. The vehicles themselves are specially designed for the Postal Service with opposite side drive and, all those kind of things.
And then they thought, well, we'll be able to resell it. And
Well, that there's not another user for that.
the analysis is like, no, the chargers you've already installed nobody's going to want them. There's no resale value for these.
Hi, I'm David with EV World News, and I'm back today on a Wednesday with our resident engineer, Mike Herzog. How's it going, Mike?
It's Wednesday. My ears are ringing. I'm smiling because it's every time we start, there's a little 3 to 5 second delay. And you and I sit there and stare at each other. And as soon as we start talking,
It starts. The thing where I've really been disappointed in the current administration is this new law, the Big Beautiful bill, is got a provision to sell off the 9,000 post office Oshkosh Defense vehicles. And from what I've already heard, the ones that have been deployed, and the postal workers have gotten to use them, it's a better experience for the driver. Once again, you don't have to put a key in it. You don't have to worry about the air. You can leave the air conditioning going when you're not in there. There's no idling. You don't have to put in a parking brake. There's all these things you don't have to do, which are things that Amazon already figured out with Rivian. Because you look at Rivian, and I've talked to drivers here locally that say, oh, man, it feels like I'm being punished if they make me drive one of the gas ones. Because you have to have a key, you can't leave the air conditioner running, you have to engage the parking brake. He said there's 4 steps you have to do with the gas-powered ones that the Rivians don't.
and if you're making 500 stops a day, like that adds up.
Yeah, that's a lot. And so if you look at both the efficiency of the workers, the lower cost of operating for the Postal Service, they're not going to have the same level of mechanics around to fix these things. And it just seems like a dumb, and I realize people on the right think that EVs are woke agenda. Okay. And that's not the case. These Oshkosh Defense vehicles win on total cost of ownership. And
And that's the stuff I read about it. They didn't bring that up. It's like, God, did anybody do this is actually more efficient. This is actually a cost savings move over the long term. Like why? And then they thought, well, we'll be able to resell it. And
well, that there's not another user for that.
the analysis is like, no, the chargers you've already installed nobody's going to want them. There's no resale value for these.
No, there's no resale for used chargers. Yeah, because the cost of the chargers is level 3 chargers. There probably could be, but there isn't.
No, the cost is installing and like building it out and putting it in.
Yeah, and the vehicles themselves are specially designed for the Postal Service. With opposite side drive and all those kind of things. That isn't too well thought of. They talk about waste, fraud, and abuse, and getting rid of that is definitely waste, fraud, and abuse. There wasn't anything wasteful in buying those. The Postal Service is a perfect use case. Your drivers are driving. They're not driving 100 miles a day.
They have a fixed route. They park in the same location every night.
Yeah. I mean, there's all these things where they're an absolute perfect use case for EVs, and then just like, oh, this just makes me sad because it's, that is something that you could argue there's a lot of use cases for petrol-powered vehicles for certain applications. We already know that electric warfighting vehicles don't really make a lot of sense. Okay, there's some use cases for e-bikes and some other things that have been shown in the war in Ukraine. but you're not going to have electric tanks. You're not going to have electric, armored personnel carriers, things like that. But when you're talking about driving around on the base, and all these other applications, it's a cost savings for the military. It's, there's a whole lot of quality of life benefits, and that's it.
Quality of life, and you think from a military application, logistics of set up a one solar panel one time, get that base there versus fuel delivery, over and over for on-base applications. Those are the ones that get me of how much does it cost to deliver fuel to some of these remote locations where you just kind of send up a central charging hub and did what you could. You could save a lot on that.
The clip you just saw was part of our live podcast. If you enjoyed it, don't miss out. Join us every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday right here on EV World News. We stream not just on YouTube, but also on Facebook and X, so you can catch us wherever you prefer. If you found this content valuable, don't forget to like, subscribe, and to share to help us grow. If you'd like to support our work, please consider becoming a YouTube member. It really helps us bring you the latest EV news and insights. I'll see you in the next one.